Think your kitchen habits are normal? Think again. Around the world, governments have cooked up some of the strangest, most jaw-dropping food laws ever imagined. We're talking about illegal ketchup in schools, banned baby carrots, and even restrictions on how crispy your fries can be. Sounds unreal? Just wait. These are the shocking laws about food you won't believe exist. Let's watch. But before starting, like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on videos like this. Number 10. Hungry people can legally steal food in Italy. Can someone really get away with stealing food? In Italy, they can. Imagine being so hungry that you have to resort to stealing food. This might sound like something out of a crime drama, but in Italy, the law treats hunger as a legitimate reason for taking food. In 2016, Italy's highest court ruled that stealing food to satisfy an immediate hunger is not a crime. This was based on a case where a man stole some cheese and sausage worth a mere $4.50. The court acknowledged that the man acted out of necessity, and thus it was considered excusable. This law makes a clear statement that no one should be punished for acting out of desperation, but it also raises interesting questions. Still, it's a shocking law to consider when you think about how theft is generally treated elsewhere. Number 9. Ketchup is banned in French school cafeterias. Can ketchup really be a crime? In France, it almost is. The French take their food seriously, and when it comes to school cafeterias, ketchup is considered a foreign invader. In 2011, France banned the use of ketchup in school lunches unless it was served with French fries. The reasoning behind this bizarre rule is that ketchup is seen as an American condiment that disrupts traditional French dining practices, which value freshly prepared, home-cooked meals that emphasize local flavors. In a country known for its rich history of fine dining, this law aims to preserve the integrity of French cuisine. But here's the kicker. Even if you're craving that tangy red sauce, don't expect it to be available unless you're indulging in the sacred fries, a symbol of fast food culture. Number 8. Cashew, the maggot-infested cheese. Would you eat a cheese that comes with live maggots? It's illegal in most places, but in Sardinia, they eat it on purpose. Cashew is a traditional Sardinian cheese that contains live insect larvae. The cheese is intentionally fermented with maggots, which are allowed to grow inside the cheese until they eventually reach the size where they become visible. This maggot-infested cheese is considered a delicacy in Sardinia, though it's also considered illegal in the European Union due to health concerns. The larva can sometimes survive in human intestines, leading to potential infections. The law may protect the public from possible health hazards, but it also highlights a clash between modern food safety standards and the traditions of local food practices. Number 7. No eating in public places in Florence, Italy. Imagine strolling through a beautiful city and not being able to enjoy a snack in the streets. Could this really happen? In Florence, it does. Florence, Italy, has implemented a law that bans eating food in public places like streets and squares. The law was put in place to help maintain the city's cleanliness and preserve its historical landmarks. Florence is a city steeped in history and beauty, and it's believed that allowing people to eat in public spaces would damage the cultural integrity of the city. This regulation encourages locals and tourists to enjoy their food in designated areas, such as parks or restaurants, instead of littering the streets with wrappers and leftover food. It's actually a way of keeping the streets clean and ensuring that the rich history of Florence is respected. Number 6. No spaghetti in the streets in Florence, Italy. Can spaghetti cause a mess? In Florence, the law says yes. In addition to banning eating in public, Florence also takes issue with the consumption of spaghetti in the streets. The law specifically targets foods like spaghetti, which can be messy and difficult to eat without spilling sauce everywhere. To prevent people from making a mess in the streets, Florence has outlawed eating spaghetti outdoors, further cementing its commitment to keeping the city clean. This law might sound hilarious, but it's actually part of a broader effort to preserve the city's aesthetic. Number 5. No chewing gum without a prescription in Singapore. Could chewing gum really be illegal? In Singapore, it can. The city-state of Singapore is known for its strict rules and regulations, and one of the most unusual laws involves chewing gum. Since 1992, Singapore has prohibited the sale of chewing gum, except for a few therapeutic types that require a doctor's prescription. This law was enacted in response to gum littering, which caused major issues with public transportation and cleanliness in the country. Chewing gum was often found stuck to sidewalks, bus stops, and even on the doors of subway trains, which led to significant maintenance costs for the city. While the law might seem harsh, it reflects Singapore's dedication to cleanliness and order. Number 4. No eating mince pies on Christmas Day in England. Can eating a mince pie really land you in trouble? In England, it might have in the past. It might sound strange, but an old law in England prohibits the eating of mince pies on Christmas Day. This bizarre regulation, originating from the 17th century, was part of a campaign by Oliver Cromwell's government to discourage excessive indulgence and the over-celebration of Christmas. At the time, the government sought to suppress the sinful traditions associated with Christmas, such as the consumption of rich foods like mince pies. Although the law is no longer enforced, it remains an amusing piece of British history. So the next time you're munching on a mince pie during the holidays, just remember that it was once illegal to do so on Christmas Day in England. Number 2. No selling cooked tripe on Sundays in Britain. Could selling tripe really be illegal? In Britain, it once was. Tripe, which is the edible stomach lining of certain animals, was once a popular dish in Britain. However, an old law prohibited the sale of cooked tripe on Sundays, a day meant for rest and reflection. This law was part of a larger set of regulations aimed at regulating what could and couldn't be sold on Sundays, reflecting the moral and religious expectations of the time. While this law is no longer enforced, it remains an example of how food laws were once closely tied to religious and cultural practices. Can you imagine not being able to enjoy your Sunday lunch because of what you were allowed to eat? It's certainly an odd relic of a bygone era in British food regulation. Number 1. No serving beer to elephants in Florida. Could elephants really have beer served to them? In Florida, the answer is no. In Florida, it's illegal to serve beer to elephants, and it's one of the strangest food laws you'll ever hear. This law was enacted as a means to protect the elephant's health and prevent any public disturbances. While it may seem like an odd law, it serves a valid purpose, keeping both humans and animals safe. The law may be a reflection of Florida's commitment to animal welfare and public safety, but it's also a reminder of how quirky some food laws can be. So, if you ever visit Florida and see an elephant in a bar, don't expect them to have a cold one. They're legally prohibited from it. So, which of these shocking food laws left you the most surprised? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating videos. And thanks for watching. Stay with us and catch us on the next video on the strange and surprising world of food laws.